My over half of my life, many decades now in the United States, I've really been struck by how American citizens have been deprived of the opportunity to learn about the history of the bomb in the first instance and to debate it. And so that for most people, discussion begins and ends with saying, it was a good thing to have dropped the bomb, it ended the war earlier, and it saved American lives, and therefore, some people will go on to say, it also saved Japanese lives. And so having realized that that was the extent to which most people, were engaged with the issue, very important chapter in U.S. history, the amnesia about the bombs has made Americans unprepared and unwilling to examine the use of depleted uranium, which is a highly radioactive substance in the Gulf region or in the Middle East, and to look at it, what its impact has been in storage in parts of the continental United States and in Hawaii. And because we know how long it took for Agent Orange to be acknowledged as having produced problems for Vietnam veterans and the Vietnamese people, I'm afraid it's going to take much, much longer for depleted uranium to be recognized. That's one kind of problem. I think it's made the ignorance about the impact of atomic weaponry has made it possible every time the United States is engaged in hostile action to summon this notion of the smart bomb or the mini bomb, as if there were any possibility of containing the impact of nuclear weapons anywhere, that it is as harmful to those who deploy it as those for whom it is used upon. So we're unprepared to think about that, and it allows generals to mouth off very blithely about these weapons as if they were somehow a solution. 31 years after nuclear power plants pretty much stopped being built in this country, a sudden and very welcome awareness of global warming has produced the solution of nuclear energy as a clean form of energy. And that, to me, is very, very alarming in the sense that those people my generation were activists around nuclear power plants as having long-term implications in terms of leakage and emissions long-term, because, again, ignorance about the impact of radiation has meant that people only think about short-term harm through dropping bombs rather than the long-term genetic issues. There's that kind of problem. People aren't ready to think about accidents. We're going to constantly be reassured about how plants can be made safe, but plants can never be made safe enough. And no one has ever come up with a solution to where to store nuclear waste. So I think that American amnesia coming upon massive ignorance poses a very immediate threat right now, and a threat, in fact, I think that's much more alarming than global warming itself in terms of the potential of large-scale harm and irreversible harm.